The U.S. government just announced an immediate 17% tariff on fresh tomatoes imported from Mexico. Now, this is a big deal. Since 1996, the U.S. had suspended tariffs on Mexican tomatoes under a trade agreement, but that suspension has now been removed. Commerce Undersecretary Howard Lutnick made it clear, quote, "American farmers have suffered under unfair trade practices for too long. That ends today." That sounds like strong support for domestic agriculture, but the ripple effects could hit far beyond the farms. Let's take a closer look. Right now, Mexican tomatoes account for about 70% of all tomatoes sold in the United States. That's not a small figure. That's the majority of the entire supply. So slapping a 17% tariff on them means prices are almost guaranteed to rise. Experts are already predicting a 10% increase in tomato prices across the board. And for businesses like pizza shops and pasta restaurants, where tomato-based sauces are essential, the cost pressure could be even worse. Let's think about where tomatoes show up. Ketchup, pizza, pasta, hamburgers, these aren't niche foods. These are staples of the American diet. That means consumers will feel it almost immediately. As prices rise, so will inflation concerns, especially in food service and grocery categories. Now, here's what some people are saying. Heinz only uses American-grown tomatoes, so they're safe from all this. That might sound logical at first glance, but actually, it's not that simple. Yes, Heinz does use U.S.-grown tomatoes, but when 70% of the market loses access to less expensive Mexican imports, what happens? Everyone else starts buying tomatoes more expensive. That demand puts upward pressure on prices, even for Heinz. So no, the idea that Heinz will be fine because they already use U.S. tomatoes doesn't really hold up. In economics, it's all about supply and demand. And when demand spikes, prices go up, no matter who you are. This tomato tariff might sound like a narrow trade issue, but it touches everything from farm policy to consumer prices. And even companies that seem protected, like Heinz, are still part of a larger supply chain that's about to be disrupted. In short, when tomatoes suddenly get more expensive, everyone's going to feel it. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like and subscribe.